Romans 6:12-14 says, "Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body to make you obey its passions. Do not present your members to sin as instruments for unrighteousness, but present yourselves to God as those who have been brought from death to life, and your members to God as instruments for righteousness. For sin will have no dominion over you, since you are not under law, but under grace." Two things you can do to apply this verse. Step 1. Do not present your members as instruments of unrighteousness. When I was in college, I've always thought that this verse was funny. I mean, the way Paul wrote the sentence sounded so weird to my ears. The NIV was graphic. Sabi dito, "Do not offer your members as instruments of unrighteousness." And I remember thinking, what members? The only members I knew back then were church members. That was until I understood that Paul was actually talking about body parts, members of the body. He was saying, do not present your body parts to be used for unrighteousness. I remember feeling so blown away with that revelation. You know why? Because I knew exactly which parts of my body were being used as instruments of unrighteousness. I knew exactly that there were parts of my anatomy that were being used in unrighteous ways. And I remember thinking, my God, this verse is so accurate. You might be listening to this and think, what are you talking about? Well, you can take this simple test. In my high school and college days, or whenever I traveled to join school competitions or events back in the day, I almost always forget something. Minsan, naiiwan ko yung toothpaste, naiiwan yung sabon, naiiwan yung medyas. It was so frustrating. And I was just a kid. I didn't have sophisticated plans about traveling. I didn't know na pwede pala checklist lang, okay na, yun na yung solution. So the night before going on a travel, I would always do this to help myself para walang makalimutan. I would stand and take inventory of my whole body and identify the items I would need from head to toe. So from head, halimbawa, sombrero, shampoo, cotton buds, toothbrush, toothpaste. Torso, t-shirts, undershirts, deodorant, sabon, all these things, etc., etc. And on, going down to my toes, I will have an inventory until all the essentials are put inside the bag na mga gamit ko para sa biyahe. Now, that's a juvenile method, but it helped me a lot when I was, a few years ago. Now, I suggest na in order to obey this verse, that we do something similar as we seek to obey Romans chapter 6. Paul says, do not present the members of your body to become instruments of sin. We ask, which members of my body? All of them. So what do we do now? What we do is we stand in front of a mirror and one by one, we take inventory of all our body parts from head to toe, name all the parts and ask the question, is this body part being used as instrument of sin? Is this body part being used to do something unrighteous? Your eyes, what you see, what you watch, your ears, what you hear, what you listen to, yung mga kilay at eyebrow na ginagamit sa katarayan, ilista yan. Yung mga laging nakaroll ang mga mata, isama yan sa listahan. Your mouth, your words, your language, your tone of speaking, your sarcasm, your cursing. Your hands, the instrument that you use for work, are you doing honest work? What else do they do? Yung mga kamay mo, and on, you make that list, you take that inventory, and identify the body parts that are instruments of sin. Now, here's the trick. Do not skip the private parts. Do not skip the sensitive parts, the sexual parts, because chances are, those are the parts that are the most given to as instruments of unrighteousness. Take Paul's words in Romans 6:12, therefore, do not let sin reign in your mortal body, so that you obey its evil desires. Huwag mong hayaan na kasalanan ang mangibabaw sa mga body parts na to. Present your body parts as instruments of righteousness. That's the second thing that you do. You stand in front of a mirror, and once again, you start naming your body parts. This time, to offer them to God as instruments of righteousness. This is the total opposite of what you did in step 1. You know that your head, your intelligence is sometimes used in a manner that doesn't glorify God. Offer that to God. You know that your eyes are so immersed in media, entertainment, movies that feed lustful thoughts to your mind. Name that and offer that to God. You know that your hands are sometimes used to hurt people or work in dishonesty. Offer that to God. You know that your tongue had spoken words that divide, words that cause mistrust and doubt, words that bring people down. Name that tongue and offer that to God as instrument of righteousness. One by one, bit by bit, present all the members of your body, all your body parts in subjection to the Lordship of Jesus Christ. And again, do not skip the private parts. Do not skip the sensitive parts. Do not skip the sexual parts, because chances are those are the parts that are the most difficult to offer as instruments of righteousness. Why do we do this? Because you have been justified. Sin is no longer your master. You are not under law. You are under grace.